Hi chefs, welcome to Devon Cookery School. My name's Ty and today I'm going to talk you through how to make the most indulgent vegan chocolate mousse using just 5 simple store-covered ingredients. Let's get into it. So I'm going to be using some 70% vegan dark chocolate, some neutral oil, this is a rapeseed oil, a lime, the juice from a can of chickpeas, and some caster sugar. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zest my lime. This is going to add a little bit of brightness to the dish, and also I'm going to use the juice to whip up the aquafaba or the chickpea water. You could use a lemon in this, you could use an orange. The essential part is we are using a citrus. So the next step is to melt our oil and chocolate. I've got 10 grams of my neutral oil in this and 140 grams of chocolate in there. I'm going to melt this very, very gently over barely simmering water. I've got it on low and the chocolate's going to slowly melt. I don't want to get it too hot because the chocolate will seize. Vegan chocolate or dairy-free chocolate is much more unstable than a milk chocolate, so we need to be really careful in not getting it too hot. Ideally, you want it between about 32 and 34 degrees. So now that my chocolate is melted, I'm going to whip up my chickpea water. To that, I'm going to add the juice of a lime. I'm going to use about a teaspoon. That's all I need. This just helps this to whip up a little bit, makes it a bit fluffier and a bit more stable. So I'm going to go in with a little hand mixer. This is going to feel like it takes forever. Realistically, it's going to take around 6 or 7 minutes. I'll talk you through the stages of it while I'm doing it, but essentially it's going to do nothing, 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 something, and then it's there. So, minute 5, we are there. We've got really beautiful, stiff, glossy peaks, and when I tip the bowl up, it doesn't move. The next thing we're going to do is get the sugar in. I'm going to start by mixing in about half a teaspoon at a time, whisking it through, and you're going to see that this is going to go really super glossy and super shiny. So after about 3 minutes of mixing, adding sugar, mixing and adding the sugar, I've got a beautiful, really thick, glossy, meringue-like texture. I'm going to take a bit between my fingers and feel it. That is completely smooth. There's no lumps of sugar in there at all. It's not gritty at all. So I'm ready to move on to the next stage. So I've got the whipped chickpea water, aquafaba. I've got the chocolate, which has cooled slightly after melting it, and I've got the beautiful fresh and zingy lime zest. It's just a case of combining these now to make the mousse. I'm going to add in about 90% of this. I'm going to save a little tiny bit for garnishing on the top. Save about that much. And I'm just going to stir this through. And then I'm going to add 2 good spoons of this into there. And give it a bit of a beat to loosen up the chocolate, which will make folding the rest of that into there much easier. I'm going to switch to folding in with a metal spoon now, and I'm going to go in with another 2 good spoons of this. And we're going to be really super gentle with this time. Really gentle, take your time. You want to keep as much of that air that you've spent 3.5 weeks getting into the aquafaba to make this mousse really lovely and light and indulgent. And I'm going to add the last little tiny bit into there. Do take your time over this. You spent a lot of time and effort whipping this aquafaba up. You want this to be a beautiful, beautiful light mousse. All I'm doing with this folding is I'm cutting into it and then folding some of the mousse over the top. We're being gentle but thorough. We want to stop when we can see that it's all one colour and texture. We don't want lumps of chocolate or lumps of the aquafaba. We're nearly there. As you can see, we've got a beautifully soft textured chocolate mousse. The only thing for us to do now is to serve it up. This is going to do 4 generous servings, or 2 if you're really hungry, or 1 if you've gone through a particularly bad breakup. And I'm going to put these into beautiful little bowls. These probably need about an hour in the fridge to set up and become nice and firm, but there's nothing stopping you from eating it now. Little chefy sprinkle, get that on there, and now I'm going to get this in the fridge for about an hour to firm up. I can barely wait. It's delicious, it's soft, it's silky, it's seductive, and it's vegan, and it's gluten-free, and it's easy. What are you waiting for? Go make it. If you would like to recreate
this at home,
this at home,
the recipe link in the description below.
The recipe link in the description below. If you'd like to recreate this at home, you can click on the description for the link to the recipe below. If you'd like to recreate this at home, you can find the recipe link to the description below. You can find the recipe, you can find the link to the recipe.
You've done so well.
If you would like to whippy mixy, click on box below for wordy.